G'day Ellie, thanks for the comment. So let's actually unpack this. Sir, we are in a cost of living crisis. Now, it is my personal belief that your ability to either navigate this situation or succumb to the cost of living crisis is largely your choice. It is a matter of perspective, and we need to understand basic economics, and we also need to understand what you can do to battle against the cost of living crisis to ensure that this does not become a universal tax that affects you. So what we've got to understand is that inflation is not a new phenomenon. Inflation has existed for a very long amount of time. And fundamentally, inflation is driven by the balance of supply and demand, because in a supply and demand based economy, where there is more demand for something than there is supply, then usually the prices go up, and vice versa. If the opposite is true, then prices either sit flat or go down. Now, we are in a position where we've had, post-COVID, a limited supply, and we have also had an excess of cash in the economy, right? We've all heard about corporate profitability and people continuing to spend, household spending, so on and so forth, right? All of these things contribute to inflation. Now, inflation is a universal tax for those who fail to act in response to inflation. So, if, let's say, the inflation rate is 6%, that basically means that your buying power is being eroded by 6% per year. So unless you are reducing your spending by 6% per year, which we ideally don't want to do, or you're aiming to increase your income by at least 6% per year, then you are in a net worse position as a result of inflation. That is your choice. Now, you're going to say, oh, you're privileged, you've got all of these opportunities. You can say that. I grew up in a household whereby my dad hand-built our bed. We had a double bed with a single mattress that he found on the side of the road that I would sleep on and he would sleep on the floor. That bed was propped up by cinder blocks, right? Don't talk to me about privilege. All of my privilege has been manufactured by my own sweat of my own brow and my own initiative to not succumb to the pressures that exist in the external world. I choose to act in response to these pressures and outpace them, because that is my choice and that is within my power. So there are two types of people in this situation, right? There are people who use this as an excuse. We're in a cost of living crisis. Things are so expensive. I can't afford it. And they do nothing. You tell me hand on heart that you have done everything in your power to increase your income, to negotiate your value with your employer, to look for other employment opportunities that allow you to earn more money, to spend your spare time side hustling, selling stuff on Facebook Marketplace, doing consulting, learning a high income skill, starting a small business, whatever that might be. If you can tell me that you've tried all of those things and you are still succumbing to the cost of living pressures, then I completely understand and I sympathize with you. Because yes, there are individuals who are in unfortunate positions and it is not within their control to increase their income, but that does not represent the vast majority of people, right? The vast majority of people just accept that they are a participant in the system, they are a passenger on their own financial journey, and they fail to get themselves into the driver's seat, either because they don't realize they can, they think that they're just a perpetual passenger, so hopefully this is your awakening, or they don't believe they have the skills, or they don't have the confidence, or insert excuse here, that is stopping them from getting into that driver's seat. I believe that is a choice for the vast majority of people. And unless you can prove to me otherwise, I have no sympathy for you. And for people like me, who acknowledge and understand the system, who work to outpace the system, there is no such thing as a cost of living crisis. If anything, my quality of life has got better over the last 12 to 18 months and will continue to get better for the 12 to 18 months ahead. And I'm very confident for every 12 to 18 month period thereafter for the rest of my life, because I have made an active choice to back myself in this economy, to continue to level up my skills, to continue to level up my positioning, to continue to show up, to make sure that in this capitalist system that I'm participating in, that the value that I bring to society and the risks that I take are adequately rewarded based on that contribution. That is how you play the game, right? So what this comes down to is one of my favorite sayings is that you will either find a way or you will find an excuse. And I'm waiting for a barrage of comments of people who are going to say, but little old me, I'm different. My circumstances are different. And once again, unless you can prove to me otherwise that there are factors completely outside of your control, all of those limiting beliefs are self-imposed. And the great thing about limiting beliefs is once you create them, they're yours to keep. And you can lift the ceiling on those on those limiting beliefs if you so choose. So I know this might sound a little bit harsh, but this is my stance because I want to create a catalyst for people to take responsibility in their own lives, to go and have a crack. And you may not win all of the time, right? But would you prefer to coast through life and say, oh, yes, I was just a victim of circumstance and a victim of the environment that I came up in, and essentially blame the external environment because you don't want to take responsibility for your own actions? Or would you prefer to look back on your life and say, I gave it everything, and maybe I was unlucky, maybe I didn't win, or it wasn't as successful as I thought I would be. Now, however, I gave it my best shot, right? And I guarantee you, in the vast majority of cases, giving it your best shot and backing yourself will be the best bet that you can ever make. I wish you all the best, and I hope that you receive this as it is intended.